Now unrealized rent and arrears of rent received subsequently, section 25A. Mean now there is a difference between unrealized rent and arrears of rent. Now what is the unrealized rent? Rent which could not be realized from the assessee is called unrealized rent. Means somehow we had also discussed in previous one of the video, if rent is not realized from the tenant, then it is a unrealized rent. If assessee has increase the rent payable by the tenant retrospectively, and there is a dispute over such increase, and later on the assessee receives the increased rent as arrears, it is called arrears of rent. So that means what? Let us say 1/4/2020 to 31st March 2021, and 1/4/2021 to 31st March 2022. This is our previous year, and this is your preceding previous year. Now in previous year rent is 5,000, but in previous year he is giving intimation to the assessee that now your rent is increased by 1,000 from previous year 2021-22, but it should be increased with the retrospective effect. Means this 1,000 you have to pay for preceding previous year, means 2021 also. So now tenant, this dispute goes into the court, and now let us say decision comes in the favor of the owner. In that case tenant has to pay rent of 1,000 into 12 for the preceding previous year, that is 12,000 in the current previous year, and in current previous year he will pay 6,000 into 12, that is 72,000. So now what is the arrears of rent? This is 12,000 is arrears of rent because rent is increased by retrospective effect. Means year is over, now you are in this year 1st April 2021-22, but rent was increased from the preceding previous year, so and it is received in the current previous year. This is your current previous year. So now that 1,000 increase is from the preceding previous year, so 1,000 into 12, that is 12,000 that you are receiving in this year. So this 12,000 is considered as your arrears of rent, and this 66,000, that is 5 plus 1, is your normal rent. So into 12, 72,000. So that is your normal rent. So this is the difference between unrealized and arrears of rent. Unrealized rent means what? The rent which is could not be collected from the tenant, and arrears of rent means it is collected in the previous year, but it is a rent of the preceding previous year which you have collected in the current previous year. Now remaining points are more or less same. If such amount is realized subsequently, it get taxed in the previous year of receipt. Means if unrealized rent realized in the subsequent previous year, in that case what is the treatment? In the subsequent previous year in which it is received, it is taxable. It is taxable in the previous year of receipt. So here we have tax 12,000 in the previous year 2021-22. This is the same example. However, deduction shall be allowed at 30% of such unrealized rent, because we are in all income from house property, we are getting standard deduction of 30% under section 24A. So that is why 30% deduction is available for unrealized rent, and deduction of 30% is allowed from such arrears of rent also. So from 12,000 you will get 30% deduction, so 3,600. So whatever is left is your answer. 8,400 will become your answer. So taxable at 70% received amount. So here also 12,000 into 70%, if you make 70% of 12,000 you will get 8,400, that is the taxable. So it does not matter whether the assessee is the owner of such house property in the previous year of receipt. If it may be possible that in the year of receipt assessee is not the owner of the house property, in that case also rent is taxable in the hands of the owner, because it is the income of the previous year, not in the of the assessment year. So it is not necessary that in the assessment year he is owner. If even though he is not the owner, It is taxable in his hand only because he is owner in the previous year for which we are calculating the income.